game time!
Shad commentaries. Hey guys, this is Shad here, recovering from my cold. This next commentary is going to be on a commentary on a fairly recent topic. IGN's Sonic Generations review. Yeah, I know, I'm such a bandwagon jumper. But this commentary is not going to be on Lucario Trainer 16. No, I'm tackling a different commentary on the same video. This one was done by SaviorRoseDragonPS3. Okay, interesting name. He made a commentary on the review, and I guess he tried to prove that the review was shit or something. Yeah, right. So let's see what awaits us as we tear apart SaviorRoseDragonPS3's commentary.
Hey everybody, the Rose here with a commentary for you. I haven't done one of these in a while. This one is on the IGN game review of Sonic Generations. This has been covered a few times already, I know, in some commentaries.
Actually, most of those commentaries were against Lucario Trainer 16 and his shitty commentary on that said review.
More notably by Lucario Trainer 16, whom Ratsutsu Rises said he was bitching about this review. Well, in my opinion, he had a right to. And, well, let's begin, shall we?
Is it safe to say Sonic is good again? Seems like the last 2 years have seen numerous fun titles starring the Hedgehog. It's almost enough to make you forget about Werehogs and that time Sonic tried LARPing. He's like the Mickey Rourke of video games. Sure, it looked like he was totally dead for a while, but now he's back and we're ready to love him again.
So basically you're saying it's time to start loving Sonic again because Sega made a few decent Sonic games. What if the next one sucks? Will it be time to start hating him some more? And while I'm at it, what is LARPing?
Well, Sonic was doing well in 2010 with 3 pretty good Sonic games. Then when this game came along, it seems that they've regained their hope in the franchise again. And also, LARPing is short for live action role playing game. Didn't know what it means? You could have always looked it up. Google is your friend.
So how does Sega explain 2 Sonics? With time paradoxes, of course. A big purple monster thing steals all of Sonic's friends and dumps him into Limbo, where he meets his past self.
You forgot to mention that.
We're skipping this next part due to the fact that what he says they missed out on were pretty much spoilers to the story. Gotta be more careful next time.
In order to restore time and space, the Sonics have to relive moments from their past and run really, really fast, because that fixes time somehow.
You know, I didn't understand that part much either.
The entire game is an homage to the franchise, full of in-jokes, familiar locales, and characters. I don't want to spoil the story too much, but if you ever thought, I wish my Sonic game had 100% more Tails the Fox in it, then you're in luck.
Mentioning the fact that there are 2 Tails characters in this game is pretty pointless, because you can't play as him, and it has really nothing to do with this.
He was just saying that Tails plays a bigger role in this game than he did in previous games, so that the Tails fans would be happy. And this may be a bit of a stretch, but the Tails mission in Chemical Plant, you do sort of play as him in that mission.
Everything in Sonic Generations looks good while you're in motion. Like a racing game, it's designed to be sped past quickly.
Hold the phone, people. Since when the hell is Sonic a racing game? Last time I remember playing a Sonic racing game was Sonic R, and that was 15 or so years ago.
Like a racing game, like
If you listen carefully, he said like a racing game, meaning it shares similarities, and to an extent, he's right, because of like the adrenaline-fueled speed and the drifting round turns. Pay attention before trying to make a point like that next time.
The layered backgrounds and vistas are nice, but this isn't a game to stop and admire the textures. And if you love Sonic's modern, vocal-fueled soundtrack, why? The new arrangements for the game's iconic tracks are awesome, but I'm most grateful that the game lets you change songs in the levels. There are only so many times you can hear City Escape before you want to kill yourself.
You say we can change the songs before or in each stage, but yet then you say we can only hear City Escape so many times before we want to kill ourselves. You know, some of us actually like the music in the game. Like, I'm actually fairly satisfied with some of the music in the game. So I believe you just contradicted yourself by saying you're thankful you can change the music in each stage and then go saying that you basically hate one of the tracks. If you don't like it, change it.
How is that a contradiction exactly? I think he brought that up as a good point. If you get fed up with the original music, you can just change it. That was a good point.
Every major stage in Sonic Generations has two acts: classic, side-scrolling Sonic, and modern 3D homing attack Sonic. The platforming and the more modern, almost racing game levels fit together nicely.
Again, Sonic is not a racing game. It's a platformer. Get it right.
And once again, you need to listen more carefully to what is being said.
Right.
Though there are still the occasional moments of clunky controls that can stop the action dead.
Oh, right, because you as the player making stupid mistakes gives you the excuse to say that this game has poor controls. I call bullshit.
1. That's not the same person. IGN have different people who play the games and write the reviews. And 2, that can happen in any Sonic game where you're going really fast, enjoying it, but then hit a roadblock which you didn't see coming. As I said before, Sonic games have a basis around trial and error, so he probably wasn't playing bad on purpose.
What's great is that every level is a recreation of a level from a previous game. It's what makes this whole game so cool. And of course there are boss battles. You'll fight familiar bosses and rivals like Perfect Chaos and Metal Sonic. They're fun, but they feel a bit lackluster compared to boss battles of the past, and the overall epicness of the game. There are also challenge missions for each world that mix up the gameplay. Most are cool, but a few of them, usually the ones starring Sonic's dumb friends, are annoying. Thankfully, they're almost completely optional, so you can just play the good ones.
Sonic's stupid friends, huh? Just when I thought you were going good. Well, unless you consider Tails and Knuckles and Amy stupid, Shadow and Silver and Blaze and them, well, personally I don't really care much for Cream, so go ahead and bash her all you want. But seriously, the rest of them are pretty damn cool, so don't go and say they're stupid. And no, they're not completely optional, you dumbass. If you're an achievement hunter like a lot of people are, you have to do them all.
Here's something I'd like to bring up. Just because he showed a clip of Knuckles and said Sonic's dumb friends doesn't necessarily mean that he thinks Knuckles himself is dumb. If you ask me, he was probably referring to some of the other characters like the Chaotix or Cream. And also, most of the missions are optional, as to complete the game you only have to do a minimum of 9 missions. And no, he wasn't referring to achievement whores either.
Sonic Generations is a love letter to the Blue Blur, a Sonic game for Sonic fans. It seems like Team Sonic finally listened to the fanbase and took everything that didn't suck about the last 2 decades of Sonic and put it in one game. The levels are great, the action is mostly tight, and the nostalgia is at its max. For more on Sonic Generations, spin dash to IGN.com.
So, these are your bullet points to summarize your review, huh? Alright, let's go down the list here. First of all, 2 Sonics. Really? You're making that a bullet point? Seriously? We've known that since the game was teased about a year ago.
But he can still say it as a good point, can't he?
Sometimes clunky. Alright, I have to give you that. Levels are amazing, and I love them so much. Sometimes clunky, yes. I have encountered a few glitches in this game which have kind of pissed me off. A couple quirky camera moments, that's kind of usual with the 3D Sonic, of course. And a glitch where Sonic was running backwards in the final battle against Time Eater. Yeah, that's kind of strange. Next, few boss fights. Really? I don't know. This game has 6, 7 of them? 7? Yeah, 7. And that's more than Sonic 1.
But that was Sonic's first outing with only 6 levels. This game was Sonic's 20th birthday game with 9 recreated levels. So you would kind of expect more bosses.
Hell, if you break apart Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, this game has more than those games also.
That depends on whether you'd count the mini-bosses from Sonic 3 and Knuckles bosses as well. Because they were kind of bosses.
And it also has more boss fights than Sonic 4. Gee, man, you really don't think before you speak, do you? Well, now it's time for my judgments at the end of this commentary here. Personally, Mr. IGN Reviewer, you failed to mention a lot of things about this game. You failed to mention about being able to play Sonic 1 on this game. You failed to mention about being able to unlock the older music in the game throughout various Sonic games. You failed to mention anything about Sonic's big variety of skills he has in this game.
You do realise this isn't the full review. The full reviews are on IGN's website as the written reviews. The video reviews are more a brief summary of the game that they reviewed, so there's only so much they can bring up during these reviews.
You failed to mention being able to unlock artwork and videos in this game and whatnot. You failed to mention that you can play as Super Sonic again in this game.
At the very end, and again, that would have been spoilers to what you unlock at the end of the game. When making a review, they don't want to give that stuff away if they're trying to get people to play the game.
You know, this, to me, is a piss-poor, half-assed, sorry excuse for a game review, and personally, I think you need to learn how to think before you speak.
Now that is irony!
Here would be a good place for me to end this commentary. So what did I overall think of SaviorRoseDragonPS3's video? Well, this commentary was pretty bad. He was misinterpreting a lot of what IGN had to say about the game, and thinking that what they said made the game seem worse than it actually was. And also harping over IGN not covering every single aspect of the game, when in their video reviews they have to be brief and cover the main parts. So this to me seemed like just an excuse to get on IGN's ass. But you know, I guess some people just can't let go, can they? So anyways, this is Shads7 saying goodbye, take care, and if you want a Sonic Generations review to go after, use GameInformer as a punching bag.
It's official. You suck.